Hey, it's Joel. I'm back in Vegas for CES. What do you guys say? Yeah, Vegas! A huge thanks to Jason at LDO Motors for making my trip to CES possible. CES 2026 was a chaotic mix of incredible tech, weird ideas, and moments that only make sense on a show floor in Vegas. And my journey was packed with great people, great food, great beverages, and of course, some really cool 3D printing tech. Saltgator showed up at CES with one of the more curious machines on the floor, a desktop injection molding device that lets makers heat and inject soft, rubbery materials right on the benchtop. It uses 3D printed molds to crank out flexible parts in minutes, which somehow feels like watching a coffee maker casually produce custom grips, lures, or toy parts. Over at the Siemens booth, Disney and Haddy were showing off something wild. The same large format 3D printing that helped put a full-size canoe into Disneyland's Jungle Cruise. Haddy's tech isn't just for props you look at. It makes stuff that's actually strong enough to be functional, and the throne on display proved that in a hurry. Seeing this kind of industrial 3D printing live at CES was a good reminder that additive manufacturing at this scale is for real-world, everyday creative work. One of the things you get to see at CES is always off the beaten path. It's not at the convention center, it's in a hotel, in a suite, and it's Quantum Light and their collaboration with Protopasta, because you get a really cool filament that looks like that under UV light. Now, this isn't just reflecting UV light, this is emitting light. It's emitting color, and you're getting a hypersaturation from this. Here, point it over here, because look at, here's MacGyver's dragon. Here's a vase, and it's made with this filament. And this filament has what's called quantum dots, really, really tiny dots. Here's what the master batch looks like. Little bits of color, and then you add some UV light to it, and it looks really, really bright.
It's bright.
And so the cool thing here is that we're able to take stuff that we've 3D printed and make it not just reflect or fluoresce, but emit the color that we want. Take, for example, this is nail polish. So it's not just 3D printing. You can now augment things that you put on or things that you wear with this really cool technology. I like the 3D printing part of it, but let's say you're into injection molding. This is polypropylene, and you can actually get the quantum dot technology within here. Oh, this is so cool. You've got paints as well. Look at that. It just looks black, right? Or kind of like with a red tint. Then you put the UV light on it. That's really cool. Obviously, my heart is set on 3D printing. I really like this filament. This is brand new. This is Quantum Light and Protopasta working together to make something incredible. And I can't wait for you and everybody else to experience this. For now, though, I'm gonna see if I can't steal this. I'm in a back area for xTool. Hold on, you got dust on the camera. Hey, it's Joel. I'm at CES at a special backstage portion of the xTool booth because we've got the xTool UV printer right here. It's currently printing something that I had to airdrop over to here because the Wi-Fi here is terrible, but that's a picture of me and my wife. And this is acrylic? Yeah, this is acrylic. Good. I'm glad I got that right. This is acrylic, and it's got a coating. Once you take the coating off, you place it in the machine, and then that software sends the image over to it. And you're in luck because it just finished. You want to see it? Oh, look at that. And just like that, that's me, that's my wife, and that's us in Hawaii. Well, this is exciting. I can't show you too much about this machine, but I was really excited that I got the chance to come back here because I got to show it working. And don't worry, we'll cover it more on the show, of course, because this is really cool. But for now, I've got a really cool keepsake from CES, thanks to xTool. AtomForm was at CES showing off their new 3D printer, not running it live, but displaying prints made on the machine, including some really nice HueForge pieces from cyanide sugar. The top glass is not on a hinge, which we discovered when someone lifted it. Good catch. And my buddy Pooch thankfully caught it on the way down.
Am I a hero? Yes.
They also had filament on display, and of course I found the blue. I'll be getting my hands on this machine soon, so if you want to see it actually run, preferably with the glass intact, you just let me know in the comments. One of the wildest stops at CES was heading over to the BattleBots arena for UFB's humanoid robot fights, basically robot MMA in Vegas. The pilot lineup was stacked. Linus from Linus Tech Tips, James from the Hacksmith, Tech Unicorn, the Con Life, Master Ken, Conflicts, Samar, and Jake Laser. They all took turns behind the controls of these Unitree G1 bots built for punching and kicking. 1 minute they're missing wildly like sleep-deprived boxers. The next, a punch lands and the crowd absolutely loses it. It was equal parts, this is the future, and what did I just witness? Pure chaos, pure fun, 10 of 10, would watch again.
You're not entertained? I'm entertained.
The LG booth at CES was one of the biggest stages on the show floor. And it wasn't just big, it was futuristic. They had an AI-powered heads-up windshield display that overlays real-time info right on the glass without blocking your view, basically showing you how cars in the future plan to politely shout information at you. The wallpaper OLED TV was absurdly thin, like millimeters thick, giving off serious, this should not be structurally possible, wall of light vibes while pushing color and wireless tech to the max. LG also demoed TVs using AI to help you stay on top of health and fitness goals, because apparently your TV wants to be your personal trainer now, and gaming setups that felt like stepping straight into a cockpit. From smart cars to living room cinema to workouts on screen, LG's CES presence was a pretty solid peek at what's coming next. Staray showed up at CES with fully 3D printed shoes that are, let's say, hard to ignore. They look strange, a little futuristic, and probably not like any shoe you've worn before. It's weird, it's kind of cool, and it's a great example of 3D printing attempting to move out of factories and onto your feet. Honest question, would you wear these? Fitasy was at CES showing off their 3D printed Stride sneakers, custom shoes made from a virtual 360-degree foot scan right on your phone. They use spatial AI and advanced imaging to turn that scan into a lattice structure shoe tailored to your exact foot shape, all printed from a single recyclable material instead of traditional foam and glue. I got to try them on and even go through their foot capture process using just an iPhone selfie camera. I can see doing this in your home, but on the floor of CES, it felt a little weird. Pooch took them for a test run and declared they weren't awful.
Better than I would have thought.
Okay.
For actually running.
Yeah. But super spongy, like walking on a cloud that forgot it had a purpose. The style is definitely futuristic, maybe Yeezy meets jellies, but they're legitimately comfy in a weirdly high-tech sort of way. Snapmaker popped up at the Kickstarter booth during CES, running the U1 live, which is always a really bold move on a show floor like this. The prints looked solid, the machine just kept going, and yeah, a quick high five from Blaine made it officially CES approved. If the U1 can survive CES, it should be able to survive just about anything. I had to stop by the TheBarsys booth at CES because this is one of those gadgets I already own. My mother-in-law actually got me one for Christmas, and I've been genuinely enjoying it. It's a smart cocktail coaster that's also a scale, guiding you through custom cocktails and mocktails by weighing each ingredient as you pour. It connects to an app and lights up to tell you exactly when to stop, which somehow turns even my questionable bartending skills into a decent drink. Simple idea, surprisingly useful, and a fun little piece of tech hiding in plain sight on the show floor. One of the more unexpected stops at CES was the MicroClimate booth, where they were showing off their Powered Air Respirator, basically a high-tech personal climate system you wear like a helmet. Think of it as Papper-esque. The Air 3 is a NIOSH-approved powered respirator that delivers constant filtered airflow right to your face.
You feel airflow, Joel?
Yeah. I got to try it on, and yeah, it feels like wearing a sci-fi helmet. Pooch gave it a spin too, and that alone made the stuff worth it. They also had the filters and add-on shield on display, showing how modular the whole system is. One of the strangest stops at CES was SORA Materials out of Japan. They first handed me their denser foam, which felt light. And then they put the Soramitex in my hand, and I honestly thought they forgot to give me anything. This stuff is so close to weightless, it completely messes with your brain. They even had Soramitex cut into airplane silhouettes, and when they dropped them, they didn't just fall, they floated down, like air finally decided to become solid. I don't know what future this ends up in, but standing there at CES, I knew this was one of those you're witnessing history type moments. At CES, the Tech 21 booth was showing off their Flexshock3D Gloves, which are basically the next evolution of impact protection tech. The secret sauce is Flexshock, a patented, ultra-efficient, TPU-esque material that's engineered to absorb and disperse impact energy better than standard protective gear. What's wild is that it's 3D printed right onto the glove fabric, so you get serious protection without feeling like you're wearing bulky armor. I tried one on, pounded on a table a bit, and honestly, it felt great. There was no pain, no stiffness, just this weirdly satisfying cushioning that actually works. I really want a pair. All right, time for rapid fire. CES always turns into rapid fire chaos, and these booths were no exception. We kick things off with the Ars Perza IQV oven hood, which somehow managed to look clean and futuristic while aggressively doing its one job, sucking smoke out of existence. Then I immediately tried to confuse a facial recognition system by covering Pooch's face with my hand slowly. Because of course we did. Over at In Motion, Pooch attempted to ride an electric unicycle. Did all right, then the unicycle suddenly figured it all out and casually rolled up to me like it was no big deal. I took a break at the My Arcade booth to play some Miss Pac-Man because sometimes CES needs a little nostalgia. Things escalated quickly at the Segway booth where Pooch was remotely driving an electric lawnmower, which feels wildly unnecessary and completely on brand for this type of show. Somewhere nearby, the Tozo booth was running karaoke for reasons I don't fully understand.
Huh?
Virtuix had the Omni One in action, reminding everyone that the future of gaming apparently involves full-body cardio. And finally, we found a booth with an e-bike that could do wheelies, which meant Pooch and I absolutely had to try it. CES remains undefeated. CES is always a lot of fun. The tech, the booths, the non-stop chaos. But honestly, going with friends is what really makes it special. Sharing those moments, the laughs, the did we really just see that stuff? That's what sticks. A huge thank you to Jason at LDO Motors for helping make this trip possible. CES 2026 was a blast, and I'm already looking forward to coming back next year.
Vegas, baby.